LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
All right, everyone, welcome back here to Simtrax Broadcasting. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here tonight from Richmond Raceway. Excellent race we've got lined up for you guys here tonight, as over 90,000 people are getting ready in their seats to see this race here with the Bandit Racing League here on Wednesday night. Tons of drivers still battling out there, only 8 trying to squeeze in for the next round of 4. This is not going to be an elimination round here tonight, but we are definitely going to see who is going to be even closer to elimination. I knew a few of them out there were really questioning out there whether they were going to be making it even to this point, as close as it is getting. I would question even things like that, whether or not they are going to be the guy on top. Right now, Benjamin Lacey is going to have a heck of a time here tonight, as he has definitely a decent run and has actually led the most laps here at Richmond, just all the stats. But you want to talk about Sean Britt capitalizing on a chaos late win, his first race of the season on season 14. So talk about a wild turn of events here. We're going to be holding our breath, though, our guys, where they're going to end up here, especially when it starts leaning toward our guys making the playoffs here tonight. Now, I would be really concerned whether or not who is going to be eliminated this next time by. I'm kind of poking around a little bit to confirm our numbers, but I believe some of our big names out there are not going to have an opportunity here tonight to try to boomerang back unless they can guarantee themselves at least a top 5 here tonight. Right now, Michael Ramos, Connor Gibson, Ethan Sikorsky, and Mark Allen Bivens are our guys above the line. Guys in trouble here are currently Marshall Crocker Eddie Haggy, Benjamin Lacey, and John Osborne. Osborne, unfortunately, being the lowest out there on the podium. Actually in the pecking order here, as he is yet to miss here since Simtrax Broadcasting has taken over. He is yet to miss a Final Four. Right now, John Osborne is going to be on edge here tonight for a solid finish. His consistency is going to need to almost come away with a second-place finish here tonight if he wants to make it. So it's going to be very, very close as he is 16 points off the line here, and we'll definitely hold our breath whether or not that is going to be the case. Now, I've kind of leaned here a little bit that his average finish here at this track is about 13th. His best finish is second, and with only 2 starts here at Richmond. So I really don't know if this is going to be his time to shine here tonight. And right now, I would say John Osborne is going to be super nervous. And I'm hoping I'm going to have an opportunity to grab a hold of John Osborne as soon as they go ahead and scrape up, finishing the last half of their drivers' meeting out here at Richmond. This 1 mile track being definitely tough. We'll go ahead and take a look at what this race is going to consist of here tonight. We're going to be racing under some slightly partly cloudy skies out there on 160 laps, as stage break will be at lap 56, 7% fuel limit, and 4 extra sets of tires down there in the pits. We'll have, fortunately, 1 fast repair for all you guys who have joined us here in the Bandit Racing League. You know exactly what this is all about. These guys are definitely going to be trying their best to come away with a solid finish. Jackson Knock will not be joining me here tonight. Unfortunately, he is sick. So I will be your only producer and commentator here tonight, and Dalton Kilrow doing his best up there in race control on the 76-degree track temperature. Let me tell you right now, Jay is super excited to be bringing you guys the Twizzlers 160 here for the Season 14 race. Right now, I'm waiting to see how well it goes and how these guys are going to progress through this race. Let me see. John Osborne, the man I'm looking for, is out there in the number 81. John Osborne, do you have a copy on that there, buddy?
I've got you loud and clear, sir.
All right. A lot of things have been happening here tonight. John, you've raced here at Richmond. Now I'm kind of reviewing over a few things. Your average finish sitting at 13th. Don't want to put a lot of pressure on you, but I'm going to here tonight. Your best finish here is second. You're currently 16 points below the line. What's the game plan?
Stay alive. I really need a good finish tonight, so just trying to, want to play it smart. I'm hoping we can get some long green flag runs because I know my car will be really good in the long run. I know how to save tires, and so I was joking earlier. I was like, I guess I need to find my inner Austin Dillon. But the car feels really good. I know it didn't show in qualifying. I didn't get back to the throttle quick enough coming out off of 2, and that really just kind of killed my momentum down the backstretch. But the car is good, feels really good. Just need to get some spacing after the green flag and see what we can do from there. I love this track, stay clean, and I think I'll have a good finish tonight.
A lot of guys are going to be pile driving to the front to get that coveted position that you were looking for. Possibility of you winning this race, we're all kind of rally capping here. You've got to have a podium finish here tonight, and I'm really hoping that we do get to see that out of you here tonight. Staying alive and survival, yes, is going to be key here tonight, but how critical is the tire life?
Tires are definitely going to matter. I have a feeling a lot of guys are going to try to push real hard, and you can burn them up here, especially if you start downshifting. The gearing is so short between 4th and 5th. I just don't think downshifting is going to pay off all that much. If they do it too early, you're going to really heat up the right rear and put a lot more load on the right front as you enter the corner. So I don't plan on shifting unless I absolutely have to. We'll see if the run goes long. But I think tires are definitely going to matter here. Maybe not as much in the actual Cup race, but we'll see. I'm really good at managing tires, but We just needed to go green in order for that to matter. So I guess we'll find out. But, you know, I like my chances of, you know, having a top 3. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. If we get a late race caution and then, you know, cautions breed cautions after that, then it'll just be a melee. That's really what I don't want to see at all because you know how that goes. But, yeah, we'll see. I feel good other than that, though. The Pit Viper 81 Chevy she's a pretty beaut. So we'll see what we got.
All right, we're definitely going to be rooting you on there, John. Yeah, cautions breed cautions. I think we saw enough of that over there at the Lady Chaos during the Talladega race. So, John, good luck to you out there in the GFR team, and hopefully these guys can rally behind you and help get you to the front, man. Maybe try to be the bulldozers out there and try to clear the way for you. Good luck out there, John.
Oh, I sincerely appreciate it, sir. I hope you all have a good broadcast, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of the race.
All right. Thanks, buddy. All right. That's going to be John Osborne out there in the 81. He's going to be really scrambling here to make sure he gets a solid finish here tonight. 2 drivers actually in the playoffs that have never started here at Richmond. Marshall Crocker and Michael Ramos. Both these guys have never started here at Richmond. So that is going to be their time to shine here as well, whether or not they're going to be able to get to that location that they want to be in. Right now we move to the 72 Chevrolet of Mason Flagar, who I think is testing out whether or not his car is good ricocheting off the wall. Hate to see that. So warm-up is completing here. We will be gridding here in just a moment. Would like to thank our sponsors out there. Obviously, Jay Tway out there in the chat with Twizzlers. We're hanging out with the LAT Racing Oils. Don't forget Apex Racing, guys. If you were looking for any kind of sim racing equipment, that is the place to go. Don't forget to add Bandit out there and let them know that all the proceeds do come to the Bandit Racing League. Help support the league. All right, let's go ahead and take a look as these guys get ready to grid out here in just a moment as we see one of the safety trucks out there. Fortunately, and hopefully, we do not see that truck come out here much tonight. I've been personally in these Richmond races. This is an excellent track. There's really no bad seat out there in the house. I do prefer to hang around that start-finish line, and that is definitely a great place to be. And especially where those sky seats, as you see here on your screen, way up top, you can see the entire track, and that is just excellent place to be. So Bill Harkins out there is not going to be on the track here tonight. Number 11 is back hanging out in the hanging out in the garage here tonight. Looks like he is going to be in some trouble there. I know his car has been mangled a couple of times. I don't know if he has any vehicles left to try to give these guys a go. So right now I see cars pulling out there onto the track. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup here for tonight, brought to you by LAT Racing Oils. Right now, Benjamin Lacey will be starting in that number 1 position, is the favorite to win here tonight, so good start for him, and next is Zach Michaelis. Moving on to Michael Ramos, who's sitting 3rd, and Jackson Mummer, who will be 4th. Now, I do want you guys to take an eye there. Look at that guy in 2nd place, missed him by 1,000th of a second there for qualifying. Moving on to 5th, Kevin Foster sits in the number 8 car. He's going to be ready to go for GFR. And Connor Gibson, our Sour Patch Kid, back to the outside. He'll be sitting in 6th. Another playoff driver will be Ethan Sikorsky in the 94, sitting 7th, and Marshall Crocker will be 8th. Moving on, John Osborne with the top 10 start here. Eddie Hagge rounding out that top 10 in the 97. Tons of playoff drivers, but now we start on the ones starting to the outside of the top 10 with Mark Allen Bivens sitting 11th. Adam Tahan will be 12th. He ended up in a ton of trouble last week, but he's going to be trying to keep it cleaner this week. David Lakey been fighting that blinking out there. He's starting 13th next to Nolan Gross, who's probably on his 12th backup car from practice. Brandon Jackson starts 15th. Mason Flagar 16th. Bob Berry, Paul Wilson, Hayden Paul, Carter Phillips, Jackson Duke, Brett Guzik all the way in the back. And it does look like Cordell McFarland will be starting all the way back there in 23rd, but I don't see 110% whether or not he is out there on the track. We're going to go ahead and get this underway as Bob Berry is starting with the fence. Already having some trouble here in the front watching right now. Kevin Foster going 3 wide as he's getting shuffled back here to the 6th position. Still 3 wide here, and it looks like somebody gets punched right out of it. And I think Michael Ramos is our man in the wall. The number 27 machine dealing with some trouble. Looks like we are trying to win it here on lap number 1 as we cross the line for lap number 2. Michael Ramos gets sent straight into the wall after turn number 1. So, boy, Michael Ramos not happy about his start here right off the bat. So let's take a look, maybe Michelin chopper view, take a look up top. And here comes Bivens here to the inside. Yeah, and it looks like Ramos may have just come down a little bit. Eddie Haggie's going to get a little scrub to the nose of his car. Seeing where Haggie is, currently sitting in 10th. I don't predict him coming down into pit road to get that checked out. So he's going to have his spotter taking a quick peek out there at the 97. And it does look like he has suffered a little bit of damage to that front nose as it is already mushed in. Kevin Foster already heading down pit road. So Kelly Queel, I can be happy to see that number 8 already joining down in pit road here. As our first caution here comes out of the night. That replay was brought to you by the Perfect Shine Auto Spot. All right. Hoping that was not Kevin Foster taking his faster pair there. We do see the damage removed from his front bumper. Michael Ramos, he's coming on in. And I would say this early, having to use a faster pair, that is pretty much suicide. I really don't think that's going to be the key to success here tonight. So Ramos getting ready to go here as he is being dealt a really crummy hand here so far. And Ramos will be starting in the 21st position. Yep, that's why I was double checking. As he gets to the back of the line. You guys may have tuned in just a little bit out here. Recently, you guys have kind of hung out and noticed a little bit of the Gen 4 racing that we do cover. These guys do end up single file out here on the restarts on the Gen 4s, but we are running the next Gen League, so these guys fortunately will be collecting it all back together, and they are getting back double wide here in just a moment. Like another little surprise here, the Jackson Knock not being here. I've got the opportunity to bring in Stella here tonight as she is responding to the call for help out there. Stella, you got a copy on me out there?
I can't leave you to your own devices. You know that.
All right. Well, definitely, I think people might find my voice a little too soothing and end up falling asleep out there. So hopefully that does not end up being the case. Check it out, though. Zach Michaelis going ahead and took over that number 1 position here. I didn't think Lacey had lost it there before the caution came out, but I may be wrong. Looks like Lacey may have dropped back, and that is going to that's going to hurt him here. As lap number 1, Michaelis had just gotten in front of him before as the caution came out. So a non-playoff driver is going to get us started here. Look how many playoff drivers we do have here in the top 10. I'm looking at 7 of them right now. Only 1 is not in, and that's Ramos, who's now, looks like after he's dropping down to the 19th spot. So crawling back his way back up, we hope, and we get back under green here. Right now, I've got my eyes set here on Marshall Crocker sitting in 5th. Right now, they're sitting there in the Rogue Energy machine, working there on the inside. Still looking pretty good here so far for Marshall Crocker. He's gained 3.
Yeah, not bad. More than that would be Mason Flagar, up 6th tonight. And don't forget my screen.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're definitely going to keep an eye on how these guys are doing on the track out here, as well as the rest of them. Right now, I see Benjamin Lacey having a little bit of trouble here on that outside line. He is scrambling everything he can do of pace speed here. I don't know if Benjamin Lacey did have an opportunity out there to, I'm not saying not to practice here, but something just seems a little funny with that car. He's battling everything he can do to get back up there, but he is caught on the outside. Benjamin Lacey cannot fight down. Caution back out. 84 machine here of David Lakey goes around, bringing out our second caution here of the night. take a look what happens to David Lakey here. Yeah, got a little bit of the 82 out there of Paul Wilson. And once Wilson got around, it looked like ended up catching Guzik, and then around they went. It was definitely a pileup here. Early into this race, you wouldn't think we'd kind of have some silly mistakes here. Nolan Gross also getting involved.
Yeah, a couple of those guys using the sides like a bumper on a pool table.
Yep. So this is definitely going to hurt for a couple of these guys.
Have Lakey finish in the top 10 last week and then already be hurting in this race tonight, down in 21st.
All right, you got a bunch of people out there greeting you, Stella. Looks like Kelly Queel and Jay. All right, happy to see you out here. We are looking at the Buc-ee's machine of Mason Flagar. The reason that being is because he has gained 8 on the night, starting in 16th. Not bad for charging up to the front. Pit stops are getting ready to start heating up, though. I believe the 82 of Paul Wilson is going to be our only electric to come down. And Kevin Foster will stay out. Ramos is staying out. That now gives him almost 17th. David Lakey's going to stay out after possibly flat spotting those tires, but they're saying that everything's okay.
Excellent. Oh, and again, we thank Perfect Shine Auto Spa for sponsoring the caution laps.
Yep. And odd question out there in the chat. Stella, have you ever seen anybody win a race like this from this early?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think that might be a slight little jab out there. These guys are trying to really send it in there. I would say in the next-gen cars, you do need to be pretty quick and gain spots fast before the tires start to fall off. But I would say you want to do it safely, and we're starting to get 2 cautions here in a matter of less than 10 laps. And we're hoping this isn't going to be kind of the song and dance here for tonight. Somebody like John Osborne, who would like to get some green flag racing, would have an opportunity. He falls out of the top 10 down to 12th. So as this points race starts to heat up and squeeze tighter and tighter, more caution flags we have, the more it just hands it over to the next guy for them to just give that cakewalk on in. Ramos right now, as he's top of the leaderboard, tied out there with Connor Gibson. Right now, Ramos is getting the nerves. He's way out. So let's go ahead and get this restarted, as we got guys separating all over the track again. Mark Allen Bivens, one of them. It looked like he was thinking about creating a third lane out there as we get back under green. This is going to be a tough race if they kind of keep this hazardous driving up out there.
They know Big
Caution
Sister's
back
watching
out again.
now. Oh,
Looks
no.
like Lakey and Hayden Paul. I think Carter Phillips might have been involved as well. I saw Carter Phillips was actually heading off the track, and I'm wondering if he could was trying to make some wreck avoidance here. Taking a look, Carter Phillips looks no worse for the wear. Taking an eyeball here on David Lakey. Lakey seems to be all right. Little drone footage out there might assist us. All right, everything seems okay. And the second drone footage out there of Hayden Paul. And the Black Rifle coffee machine doesn't seem to have any damage on him either.
The caffeine goes a long way.
Yep. All right, so what do you say we take a look at what caused this here?
Right.
And we'll probably say Carter Phillips is somewhere involved in this. Let's take a look. Bring your brought to you once again. Perfect Shine Auto Spot might be getting their sponsors worth here tonight. There's Ramos into the side of Carter Phillips. And I think Carter Phillips just wasn't accelerating the way he thought he was going to on the way out. Oh, man, Hayden Paul. They're stopped, buddy. So what gets into Ramos here? I'm looking at full speed. 30. No, just Ramos got a better run. Yeah, I'd check up a little bit. So we'll see if RC does EOL. See if they EOL, that Michael Ramos heads to the back now. We'll kind of keep you guys apprised of that. I would assume RC would go ahead and send him to the back. And Bill out there saying maybe we should run street stocks for season 15. Street stocks are what you originally start in the rookie class.
Oh, okay.
These guys are out here running Class A licenses and Class A cars. I think what he's saying is might be a possibility of finding a car a little worthy of damage if we're going to continue this kind of pile driving out there. So.
Yes.
Mason Flagar gaining 9. Brett Guzik on a positive note, looking from 22nd up to 12th. And Cody Heights asking who let this guy sponsor a race.
Oh. And he was saying that he really likes the fact that he's seeing his name up there. This guy, you too could sponsor a race, you know, Mr. Height.
All right. Hopefully we're wrapping up our third caution here. Double filed. Pace car lights are off. And Zach Michaelis looks like he's going to be the hardest part of this race is just going to be getting these restarts down. Benjamin Lacey caught on the outside yet again. And here we go.
Nice start.
Yeah, we got a couple guys bumbling here in the back. Look like John Osborne might have missed a shift there a little bit as he's fading off pretty quick. I don't blame him. He might want to try to get himself a little bit of gap before the guys in front of him start getting a little bit of a run up. Let's take a look back as I think Benjamin Lacey was making a bid there for the lead. He's got some turn exit speed here, but Zach Michaelis has got the favored line, having to dive in so much more. And once again, we are 3 wide here on the bottom. Mark Allen Bivens is not interested in waiting here for the Young Guns crew. He's shot himself up to 4th, looking for 3rd now. Boy, 72 Mason Flagar, and there it goes. Mark Allen Bivens into Zach Michaelis, and Michaelis going backwards. Fortunately, not in direction, only down on the chart. Fortunately, he is keeping in the right angle and the right direction here. Boy, Stella, I don't know about that pass there. Mark Allen Bivens interested in getting that lead here pretty soon. Crocker now sitting to his outside of Jackson Mummert there in the 52. Mark Allen Bivens has got a ways to go as Benjamin Lacey has now taken over the lead, leading out front by almost half a second. But Mark Allen Bivens has got room to run, so he's going to try to reel him in here pretty quick.
Yeah, that sure didn't take long for Benjamin Lacey once he made the pass. I see why he was kind of anxious to get up there. Must have a pretty fast car tonight.
Yeah, wondering if he, just because he was all the way in the back of the field, if it was just a mess up on his qualifying time. We'll see how that's going to end up working out. Sue's kind of poking back in. The Crunchyroll machine there on the outside of Ethan Sikorsky. Our only Toyota out there on the track right now, currently holding in 4th. He's reeling in right behind Marshall Crocker. Jackson Mummert still sitting on the bottom. 25 laps almost complete here. Jackson Mummert sitting in 5th. Now it's going to be Mason Flagar to the outside. Flagar looking to send it there, not wasting any time. Just like Bucky's out there with multiple gas pumps. No time wasted. Let's get it going. And he is not waiting. Continue on. Mason Flagar now up to 5th. That's 11 on the night. Or Benjamin Lacey only holding out front by a quarter of a second here. Pretty tough to pass out there in these next gens. Mark Allen Bivens showing that is not the case, as he has definitely been on a roll here. All colors in green out there on the tower are our playoff drivers. The ones in yellow are not. They'll also be signified out there by a green spoiler or green chin spoiler on the front. where the front splitter sits and help identify them. And we are finally getting going here. Awesome job. So we'll kind of poke around just a little bit around the Adam Tahan area. Do like to see how that 17 Chevrolet is doing, as Mummert has unfortunately been rolling backwards here the past 10 laps. Rolling, and he's trying to keep it going here. But Mummert seems something might be wrong. I don't know. Mummert got a fast qualifying time, and now he has been shuffling backwards. Tahan still fighting on him, though. Gives up as he sticks right behind him. Might have to dive bomb into 3 here to get him. Speaking of dive bombing, Brandon Jackson did all he could to see if he could pick up a position that just wasn't there. Brandon Jackson now up to 8th. He's gained 7 on the night as Connor Gibson has fallen back. And Eddie Haggy still 10th position, at least where he qualified.
Yeah, the only 2 people that are still where they qualified are Benjamin Lacey up front and Eddie Haggy. They're on 10th.
Yeah, Ramos is still trying to fight back from originally a top 5 start. He's currently, for our Ramos fans, hanging out in 18th. Scrambling to get back up there. I don't really know if this is going to be the race for John Osborne. Stella, I don't know if you tuned in earlier about talking to John Osborne a little bit about what he had going on out here and how critical this race is going to be for him to get up there. I do want to take a review over here, Stella, if we have just a moment, and take a look at this pass from Mark Allen Bivens on Zach Michaelis here. I want to know what got Michaelis out of shape. And the 78 just kind of sent her on in there. Well, 76, yes. Excuse me.
Yes, 76. But at least he gave him the courtesy of tapping him back in the right direction.
It doesn't matter. Still gives up your momentum, and it just breaks your heart. The guy's trying to come back. All right, Brandon Jackson now up to 8th, now looking for 7th. Adam Tahan going to end up in the rearview mirror, seeing now the 99, how crazy he's been driving. He's definitely making it work. Inside line for the Ford, looking at the Sour Patch Kid, currently sitting 9th. I believe Zach Michaelis has finally stopped the bleeding and ended up in 10th.
Yeah, he was, after that first caution, sitting in first place there for a little while, but quite a drop back now.
Yep. On top of all this racing out here, there's been a slight announcement out there that is still under review on Ethan Sikorsky making a switch next season about which team he's going to be running with. So we'll see how all that pans out. I'm showing that Dawson Guzik seems to be pretty excited about that. Yep, we are currently watching Connor Gibson, the 31. Give Adam Tahan a little more speed out of 4 than he expected, so he nudges the wall, scrapes that safer barrier, and is back right door to door with him. Boy, can't get much closer than that. Zach Michaelis watching these two duke it out in front of him.
I thought he was just asking him if he had any Grey Poupon.
Not at all. Lacey now finally getting the separation here. Gains out by over a second. And that is probably a lot more comfortable lead over top of Bivens than a quarter of a second he was doing. Not bad at all. Stella, I believe we're also getting a fight up there with Mason Flagar. Flagar starting to get a little work done on him there by Jackson Mummert. Was taking a look at the outside. No can do. Hey, out there is asking when the next season will be. That is still to be determined. They're still working on the schedule itself. It's hard to say when we're going to get re-going again here. Bandit Racing League will be ready to go. Take a look at Brandon Jackson here to the inside, able to get that fender in him. Right now it's going to give Jackson a little bit of a jam up here as he's got to run Mason Flagar. stopping him here. Boy, that's a bad dive here. That's going to cause him to rotate up. This is the side of Brandon Jackson. Playoff drivers here trying to give it the best shot that they got. Look at Bummer. Still holding
I thought
on.
Brandon Jackson was going to come forward pretty good, but 72 and Mason Flagard dropped down right where he wanted to be.
Oh, Brandon Jackson having to check up. Mummer checking up as well as we ride on top of Jackson Mummer here in the 52 Chevrolet. Right now, there's Brandon Jackson, another dive bomb here to the inside. That's going to just punish that right front tire here. I do not believe they will have to pit for fuel, as they will be going to lap 56 before that scheduled caution does come out. Ooh, Jackson pushing him up the track a little bit as Flagar came way down. What a view we're getting here from Jackson Mummer, these two in front of him. Right now, they just cannot figure out who's going to get that spot. And I think Brandon Jackson overheats those front rotors and pivots here. He's got the opportunity. Wow, Flagar snaps it. Flagar doing everything he can to hold on to that position. He's running out of room. Up into him there, and there we go. There's the 99. A little bit of a bad run here. That's now going to put Jackson to the outside. Mummert's now going to fire to the inside. And now it looks like Brandon Jackson's going to be under fire here. Currently Mason Flagar blocking the lane here as Mummert taking a shot to the inside. This is the closest racing we got out here on the track there, Stella. Everybody else is pretty spread apart. Nobody really challenging for any positions out there. I think everybody's just trying to tick these laps off, seeing how many cautions we had to start at the beginning.
Yeah, this is a good race right here, though, in the middle. This is what you would see on the last lap. Not giving any space. They're keeping their place and they're firm to it.
Brandon Jackson seems to wedge underneath Mason Flagar. We may be nudging and looking at a 3 wide here if they're not careful. Jackson's still taking another look. Flagar is leaving the door open though. Don't really know if he wants to be doing that. John Osborne, you see him there in the background, now starting to work on Adam Tahn.
Oh.
This is going to be an opportunity. We've got some trouble here in the front. I think Mummert's around.
Yes, we do.
Caution back out. Just as soon as the camera starts pulling away, apparently our producer is not staying with the project here, as we are back under caution on lap number 50. Stella, if you wouldn't mind, double check out there with race control. Let me know if this is going to be named as our stage as it is at 56, unless we're going to have a 2-lap shootout here. So maybe it will be in a possibility. I think they're going to see what happens. So who pits, who doesn't? Let's see what we can find out. Let's go ahead and take a look right now as we are thinking about it at this caution here. What gets Mummert out of shape? He's a little bit loose. Oh, yeah, this is all Mummert, baby. That's it. Connor Gibson just saw him. Bam. Nails him. So nowhere to go. And we'll see how that, how all that handles. Now, I see some fighting out there in the chat. That there's a possibility out there that they're saying there's going to be some social cliques out there with the teams and breakups and that sort of thing. Right now, they better be careful. Mummert definitely wants to keep an eye out there and make sure that he stays from going too many pit boxes. Stella, we make sure that we see that Mummert out there being very close in the 52 Chevrolet. There's 1, 2, 3, and drives out. Mummert may be serving an EOL here for driving through over 3 pit boxes and out of the range. So we'll see how that pans out. I know RC has to be all over the place out there, and we'll kind of hold our breath. Stella, anything to add here?
Yes, this caution will just be its own caution. They're going to be when they go back to green, have a 2-lap shootout to the stage.
Okay. All right, definitely a bummer there. So I see Bob Berry working his way back. And we'll definitely poke around a couple extra things out there as RC takes a peek at Mummert going through 3 pit boxes on exit there. So we'll see how Dalton Kilroe, if he catches that here. I don't know 100%. He may already be EOL'd here for caused caution. And that may be something they're really going to poke around at here and see what's going on. Stella, what happens if you get a double whammy here in this league?
You go home.
Well, no, if you're already EOL'd for caused caution, and an EOL for driving through too many pit boxes, you can't get double EOL'd. I mean, unless you're serving
No, I
drive-through.
wouldn't say so. But normally you'd get either two different penalties. One, make one an EOL, one a drive-through, or non-qualifying for unserved because it would be impossible to serve it.
Boy, that would be nasty.
For next race.
Take a look at this. Nolan Gross here. I believe that was Adam Tahan that sliced all the way across the track. I believe he made that lane change before, and we got somebody sent straight in the wall.
Wow.
Adam Tahan is going through the grass. No caution.
No, I was watching the one up top. Boy, he was holding it, going sideways, and was wonderful.
So at least half our field has yet to pit here. We're looking at him 3 wide. Mummert now stuck in the center. Starting to work up front, trying to find where music goes as currently Markella Bivens is starting to do his blinking again. At 56, Gross backs up the turn, Mummert around the outside, and away he goes. Keep rolling here, the crunchy roll machine of Ethan Sikorsky.
Caution.
Will be going ahead, and it looks like he secures 4th here for the stage. What a mess.
My. Yeah, for a 2-lap shootout, there was a lot of action going on here.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what gets Mummert off pace here. It almost punts him out.
And in the meantime, I'm looking at a fire sale headed down pit road. Looks like Paul Wilson and David Lakey so far have chosen, along with Carter Phillips and Jackson Duke, not to come down.
What wreck avoidance. Stella, did you see this replay? Watch. Ramos up here is the first one to get loose. Now the 17 of Tahan is loose here. Watch Lakey. Oh my gosh. And talk about let it just peel out in front of him. So no caution there. And Ramos ended up almost going around out there.
Yeah, that's the one I was watching going sideways and managed to keep it clean and go forward when we were currently live. Oof.
So adding to the amount of laps led out there for Benjamin Lacey, he leads definitely a few handful more, as he has led the majority of the first half of this race. Michaelis got sent to the back after some contact out there with Mark Allen Bivens. He's currently Michaelis pitting there on lap 58. 13th. He's sitting 13th.
So do we have a stage break sponsor, or is it Perfect Shine Auto Spa?
We do not have a stage. I believe it used to be Jim's Auto Works. It used to be our stage sponsor.
Gotcha. So go ahead and shout out Perfect Shine Auto Spa for all of your automotive detailing needs in Houston, Texas.
I heard down in Texas they got mosquitoes as big as grapefruits. I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel. All right, what do you say we go ahead and get this one back on the way? 4 unscheduled cautions here tonight. Paul Wilson will be taking us to the green flag. Already shuffling back here is going to be David Lakey. And we got the faster drivers taking the drivers who pit and are turning them around.
Well, there's a bit of damage on the front end of that car.
Yeah, Benjamin Lacey's going to need to get a faster pair here. He's torn up pretty bad.
Without a doubt.
Kevin Foster does survive, though. He sits third. Carter Phillips, David Lakey, Brett Guzik. I don't know if David Lakey was pushed or went into the turn too hot. I don't believe that Lakey came down and pit on lap 58. He did not. He came down and pit on lap 50. So his tires had been well set in. It's not like, I don't know. It's just a messy run here. I would say it's a little frustrating. Let's take a look here.
Oh.
Carter Phillips gets into his left rear corner. The 84 survives, and then it's just after that.
Come up.
Gotta say, the 84 didn't do too bad. He survived.
Yeah, at least nobody.
There's a 30 here that catches him right here where he gets nicked by the 78. And I can't say it's the 78's fault there. I just don't know. Stella, when we're looking at it here, I'm trying my best to see if this is is it a self-spin here? Did the 84 just net code out or something? What made David Lakey... Carter Phillips got in the left rear quarter panel.
Do believe there was contact there, yes.
Man.
So currently we have 4 guys down in pit road. David Lakey, Brett Guzik, Marshall Crocker, Carter Phillips. Brett's on his way out currently.
Benjamin Lacey does go to the back pocket and get his faster pair. Currently, Benjamin Lacey is 7 points below the line. He is sitting in 7th. So, Stella, right now we've got some drivers up front. Ramos and Connor Gibson, not 100%, but could afford a not so good race with them leading over top of the line by 16 points.
That's not a huge gap.
But it's John Osborne who's down by 16, Benjamin Lacey who's down by 7, Eddie Haggie's down by 4, and Crocker's down by 2. You want to talk about some huge names here.
Osborne's usually in. I mean, he makes the cut pretty well. I remember the first season.
Right.
Pardon?
He normally makes the championship. Adam Tahan sending it in there. What are we doing here,
Come on.
guys?
Can I vote to start single file? Looking at Talladega last week, we had 10 cautions for 27 laps, but there were also 100 laps in that race at 2.5 miles. This is, we're at lap 68 on a mile track. We can't just, they can race fine, they just can't get started.
Adam Tahan apparently is getting the EOL here. That's what he's sitting back. Unfortunately, this collects Kevin Foster and Brandon Jackson here. I mean, look at this move. You know you're not going to make that pass. So why send it in there? There's Mummer.
Ouch.
He gets hit. Boy.
Oh!
Oh, do that again.
Just tell me he doesn't end up getting a black flag
No,
or something.
they
for
won't give him a
illegally-
black flag for this. If
Okay.
they do, it'll be waived off. This is wreck avoidance.
Okay, not illegally entering the
No,
pit
as long as-
sideways and at speed.
Whoop.
Well, at least he didn't tag the barrels, so that's good.
Yeah, that was close. So we'll, what do you say we joke around with him a little bit? I think that'll be pretty funny. Let's see if we can find the 78. Marshall, you got a copy on me here, buddy?
Loud and clear, I got you.
Okay, talk to me about what it's like to drift into pit road.
Well, when you already used your quick repair, getting caught in a separate wreck a few moments after being third place, it's pretty darn stressful. But it's the better of two alternatives. Managed to keep it out of the wall. So, I mean, we just saw it. Mark Allen had a disconnect. He's back on the lead lap. If the yellows keep going, I'm not too worried about it. But I got to say right now, man, the only reason I'm in this race is because my teammates, my engine blew because of a previous wreck. Without an engine, the car was off. They pushed me all the way around to get me back to my pit box. So if this race stays alive, it won't be the spinning on a pit road. It'll be my boys coming through and keeping me in the race.
All right, BC
Wow.
Sim Sport is getting a lot of heat out here lately with guys moving around teams and things like that, man. How in the world are you guys, really working it out there and kind of working together as a team? You know what I mean? It's just there's so many cautions out here. There's drivers trying to fight to maintain position. You guys, you're just below the line. I mean, kind of, what's your mindset, man? If we're already past our fast repair.
My mindset's don't get in a wreck, try to emulate some of Bivens, and trust in my boys, because they're veterans, they know what they're doing, and love of racing. That's why BC Sim Sport is so good.
All right, Marshall, good luck to you out there, buddy.
10-4, thank you.
All right, we accidentally grabbed a hold of Marshall Crocker right before he's going to see his next caution. Stella, I think we
Really?
could have kept him on the radio.
Brandon Jackson?
Yep, Brandon Jackson, the 99 here.
Go! He hit an oil slick?
I don't know. He had a problem like that in a couple races ago. Yeah, like he glitched out or something.
Yeah, that's... Almost wonder if it's equipment.
Yeah. Well, maybe, you know what? Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to get him fired up. Let's see if we can grab a hold of 99 out of here. Brandon Jackson, you got a copy on me here, buddy?
I don't know what happened. Don't ask me what happened. I don't know.
Well, I'm looking at, I think this happened a couple races ago. the exact same thing. The car snapped to the right.
That happened on a restart, but this one was the weirdest and craziest incident I've ever had. I just wanting to drift out to the wall, and the car just body rolled right with barely little input, and then I had to correct it, and I just went around. So it scared me more than anybody else.
Wow.
Aw.
Well, Brandon, this... All right, I'm going to try to be easy. This is not your only incident here tonight, buddy. There has been a ton of things going on out here. You're catching most of the flack here later on in the run. How are you going to survive? I mean, if we're not even halfway through.
Just gotta try to keep the nose clean and get back up there. I don't know if I can, but you know, some of these boys are struggling. Hell, I have no room to talk. I just wrecked myself, so we'll see what happens. But we gotta go. You know, just gotta go back to the front. It's unfortunate what happened with me and Kevin. I don't know what caused that, but it is what it is. Gotta figure it out. Gotta get back up there.
All right, Brandon. Good luck out there, buddy.
See ya.
That is a very cheerful, demolished driver.
I would say yes, but if you tune into the stream, something tells me it's going to be different.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Perfect Shine Auto Spy. I'd like to thank you for our caution replay. I'm going to take you off the screen now and hope for the best that maybe that will not turn around and do the same thing. I do want to give a huge shout out to the non-camouflage Benelli machine out there of Jackson Duke, who is currently sitting in third. Here we go. Twizzlers 160 has definitely been a messy race here tonight. Paul Wilson, Mason Flagar, Jackson Duke sitting in our top three positions. None of them are playoff drivers. The highest one is going to go to our only Toyota of Ethan Sikorsky in the 94, but Zach Michaelis wants to get his spot back, and he is not going to get it.
He's in the infield. I don't think a caution will come out.
He's sliding so fast, I can't even find this guy. Zach Michaelis gets sent into the, into the grass, but almost couldn't make it back. Show me that again here. This is a horrible angle.
Yeah, we've got contact before the start-finish line right there.
Yep. All right, this is where Michaelis is. There's the contact up front, and you see he just gets sent right out. And everybody slings by him. So Michaelis now back down to 20th as we reach our halfway point here of this race. Ethan Sikorsky is knocking down one of his fastest laps. That'll be 21:34, and is blazing fast here for the Crunchyroll machine. Let's see if he can hang in there. Now, if I am not mistaken, that Sikorsky is actually 7 points above the line. This would be huge for him. Keep it going. All right, Paul Wilson. We're showing something between Ramos and Benson Lacey. Remember, Lacey's already used this fast repair here. Lacey now up to 7th. Almost getting ready to take a sigh of relief here. Not quite yet. Nolan Gross here to the outside. As Mark Allen Bivens fights his way back up to 11th. Here comes Adam Tahan. Served an EOL already, getting, oh boy, starting to nudge Nolan Gross. Haven't seen a lot of opportunity to see Nolan Gross racing this season. Glad to see him out here tonight, out there in the O2 Chevrolet. Currently returning back to his qualifying position of 14th. Looks like everything is okay. Yeah, there's a lot of action out here, especially at a 1 mile track.
Yes.
These guys have a lot of things to do. Mistakes can be made, and it's only in a split second that it happens.
Yeah, Dahan is making a lane for himself, we'll say.
Yes. Yeah, he's kind of running that Mark Allen Bivens line, definitely pushing his way up to the front.
Yeah, the standings after Talladega put Ethan Sikorsky in 3rd place. Let's see, 9 places behind the tied leaders.
That would explain a lot. Taking a look here, Adam Tahan is one of the drivers on the young vet. Jackson Lumber, Mark Allen Bivens, and Mason Flagar. Wow. Some of these guys, just about all of them have been involved in something here tonight. Let's take a look here. Connor Gibson here to the outside. Jackson Duke a little bit off the bottom. As Sikorsky now slides up to 2nd. Sikorsky's going to be taking a peek here for the lead. Yep, keep an eye on it here. Ethan Sikorsky sitting 2nd. And he's looking for it here. Almost getting a full clear. Can't because Mason Flagar's got some turn exit speed. And is going to continue to run off of this one. Sikorsky sees the nose almost get cut off here.
Yes. Goodness, yeah, Flaker and Sikorsky has no problem getting up close and personal.
I think, like I said, after last race, Sikorsky's got a chip on his shoulder here. And there it is. There's the squishing of the wall. Sikorsky letting him know he was there. Boy. Right now, as these two continue to go at it. Right now, dangerous area, but Sikorsky's got it. Currently has the lead. He's going to hang up top. Great job here. This is Ethan Sikorsky in the lead. Boy, this would be a huge boost of confidence out there for the 94. We've been desperately waiting to see Sikorsky come away with a win during the playoffs. So Sikorsky out there showing that the Toyota Power can do it. Let's check back in on Kevin Foster. Foster, I think, getting ready to look at Jackson Duke, hopefully from the rearview mirror instead of the inside. Currently, Foster's group is rally capping for that. We had originally 7 drivers in the playoffs sitting in the top 10. That is no longer, only 4. Losing 3 to just outside the top 10 there. Bivens, Ramos, Osborne, and Crocker. 11, 12, 14. Bob Berry breaking up that line. Great job by Sikorsky getting that fresh air to the nose, and away he goes. Mason Flagar is going to be looking at him from a distance. Roll back as Benjamin Lacey has 3rd. Paul Wilson sitting 4th. Eddie Haggy is 5th. Glad to see Haggy back in the fight here tonight. Connor Gibson returning back to his qualifying position of 6th. I would say if we could just get past the restarts, I think we'd be okay, but I'm just watching Adam Tahan again here dive into the bottom. Tahan getting underneath Jackson Duke here. This is the 9th. Jackson Duke out there with the LFR team, running as a Lone Ranger here tonight.
Yeah, I was noticing this year, I remember the first one where John Osborne was in the final, only one in the playoffs that had got there on points alone. And now I'm looking at of our top 4, we'll just call it, that currently would move on if this was 2 of them have not won a race in the regular season. Connor Gibson and Ethan Sikorsky. So they have both made it here on points alone and consistency. Congrats on that.
keep this run going here. A couple of different battles out here on the track. Eddie Haggy. Keep Connor Gibson off of him. Kevin Foster dives in a little too hard. They back the turn up a little bit. So Foster now having to reset. He's going to take a look here to the inside. Foster eliminated there during the original run on the 12. Can't do Adam Tahan. Still, I gotta admit something out here that Young Guns crew, these guys can just drive these cars at will.
Yes.
I mean, they are just so aggressive.
He's everywhere. Maybe. Oh, somebody's off the wall on the inside. Oh, Brett Guzik. And he comes back up on the field and takes out. Oh.
I'm not sure who that was. They went straight into him. Brett Guzik is totaled out here and is immediately taking it to the garage. And I believe so is the 0-2 of Nolan Gross. But we'll kind of keep an eye here, as he was the one I think who smashed into him. We're going to hope for what this is hopefully not going to be. Is that the 17?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So this will be a nice little stop for everybody to make a pit stop, though.
And that they are doing currently.
Yeah,
every single person. Yeah, but this was painful coming back up.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It looked like he saved it though. Right here.
Yeah, but if he had just stopped right there instead of gunning it, might have saved Nolan Gross's night.
Sure how I feel about that. Call it the way we see it out there. Caution flag does come out a few times here tonight, and that's brought to you by Perfect Shine Auto Spa. 8th caution unscheduled here for the night. Ethan Skorsky.
And it does look like Adam Tahan will be put back EOL for that one. He is currently back in 19th.
If a driver comes through the field, making it halfway, and then gets EOL'd, does he not just come back and do it again? 55 laps left to go here at 160. Brought to you by Tway. Thank you for out there for sponsoring the race here, buddy. And we see now Kevin Foster, 3 wide here on the bottom. Gets underneath Haggy, gets underneath Connor Gibson, and there we go. Mark Allen Bivens looks like he's going to be suffering some damage, and around he goes. Caution.
still drivable? Yeah, he tried to avoid and just looped it. But what was happening with the
David Lakey.
gang in front of him? Okay.
No, I don't think it was David Lakey. That might have been somebody else.
Somebody was doing the shimmy shake. Yeah.
Who was that? Was it Haggy? Yep.
Too far.
That's Haggy up here with Connor Gibson. So Foster sends it. Oh. Haggy gave a little wiggle.
Oh. Just like I might come down, I might not. Kind of thing?
Yeah, when Eddie Haggy gave a little wiggle there, that was, it looked like he may have overcorrected here. Watch Eddie Haggy right there, breaks loose. That was it. Who knows, even from our angle, it could have been netcode. And it may have said it made contact with the right front fender.
Now that's nasty.
Now, we've seen it multiple times.
We have.
Yeah, different tracks, just silly stuff happened like that here at iRacing. So.
I remember when they first redid Atlanta. And every time they went around one turn, at the end of that turn, somebody would flip out. And nobody touched anybody. And it was very annoying. I think we've been there several times since it's been fixed, but it was right after that update.
So Ethan Sikorsky's got a tall order to fill here. Right now, he has got to figure out how to fend off Benjamin Lacey. If Lacey can get out front, that's going to be it. He's got to hold Benjamin Lacey in that second spot. Even if it's a restart, and Lacey going to do just that.
Sorry. Who just ate the wall? That wasn't Lacey, was it?
Yes, it was. Looked like he might have slipped on the restart. I'm at a loss for words here, Stella.
Well, I'm just kind of thinking, maybe they're square dancing, they're doing the do-si-do. I'll come up front, and now I'll go EOL, and then I'll come up front, and the next person will go EOL. Everybody, let's take a turn. Yeehaw. Oh yeah, that was self-inflicted, do you call that?
Yeah.
So 3 gentlemen taking it into the pits for a little bit. John Osborne, Jackson Mummert, and Benjamin Lacey. Looks like a little bit of an extended pit stop there for John Osborne. A little splash and go for Jackson. Like he had a fast repair left.
Who?
Lacey?
No, Lacey had already used that earlier in the race. Lacey will have damage to the rear end of his vehicle. That was him squirting out pretty quick because that was him in danger of going a lap down. So you can see the rear is pretty torn up here.
Okay. So when you go into pit road and you have damage, it says you have a certain amount of optional. It also says you have a certain amount of what, compulsory? What do they call it?
Required.
Required.
Yep.
Okay.
There's required repair
Can
and then
you-
there's optional repair.
Okay. Can you pick what different things
No.
to repair? Okay. You just pick requireds or optional.
Required, there is no choice. You have to fix it, or they won't let you back on the track.
Fair. Okay. But in optionals, it's not like I want to fix my front end and not my back end.
Nope. It just sits there and the timer ticks down. And that's why it's very lucky that we can see, you know, certain body panels get pulled out during that time.
Yeah. Okay. Just curious. All right. At least then Sikorsky gets a very nice jump off that start. Says safest place on this track is out front with at least a third of a second over Kevin Foster and Mason
Jackson
Flaker
Duke.
at this point. Yep, Kelly, he's sitting in third right now. At this rate, I think we may have more pace laps than we have race laps. So, podium finish could be in his future. Took out two. Marshall Crocker was in that one.
But how does... yeah, he was involved. All right, here's Jackson Duke. Little wiggle here by the 82. Duke looks like he's trying to avoid it. Marshall Crocker, he's going to be able to save it, though. Watch the 78 up top as well. So Bivens does get damage. I think what bugs me is where it originally started was the 82 breaking loose. Right here.
Yes. But he holds it. Boy, he even took a piece of Brendan Jackson before he got it together. Speaking of which, Brandon is going down pit road along with Mark Allen Bivens and Benjamin Lacey. Oop, nope. Paul Wilson, excuse me. Nolan Gross has been sitting down there working on his repair for a little over 2 minutes.
I think Nolan Gross is going to take it back to the garage here. This definitely makes for a interesting run in the playoffs. I would say normally this is when your aces, they're guys who've earned their way into the playoffs, show off some of their best driving and a lot of good consistency out there. We're getting good, consistent caution flags. I'm hoping this kind of comes to an end here. So lap 120, 121 at the line. No, you're kind of seeing them. They're already sending it in. There's Bob Barry almost getting squeezed to go in the middle. Sikorsky still hanging out front. As Flagar and Kevin Foster. have a decent opportunity here. Let's go ahead and bring our tower back up.
Okay.
Right now, this is Connor Gibson. Currently holding on to fifth, looking for fourth. Ramos hasn't been
Jackson
back up
Duke.
here the entire race. Ramos is actually our lap 2 caution.
Oh,
And Ramos is having an ability to get up here. Ramos and Michaelis starting out front, and they've got a chance. All right, so if Michaelis once again gets sent back to the 20th position after getting spun out, does make a full clear now to 4th.
I'm holding my breath.
Yeah, the discipline here by Zach Michaelis. Normally, once somebody gets sent to the back of the line twice in a night, they've pretty much had enough. But he is sticking it out, though, and has fought his way back up for a top 5. As long
likes
as
the
he can
short
hold
track.
it here. Right now, a couple of bumps and bangs out there from the Ethan Sikorsky and Mason Flagar area has sent him back to the pack of the pack. I see Bill Harkins out there saying he's still shaking his head after some of this race out here tonight. You gotta give him a drop an elbow or something. Try to get this under control. Eddie Haggy way out of shape here. Haggy
Bad turn.
way out of shape still. Boy, you see driving like this at Talladega, you know, guys get to the outside and then they get marched way back. Apparently that transfers over here to the short tracks. As you see Eddie Haggy go from sitting around the 8th and 9th spot now to 15th.
Goodness. Yeah, and I would say, you know, he has older tires, but they're the same as the top 7. So it shouldn't be a tire situation.
No, not any of how he's been getting through traffic here. Boy.
Oh, jeez.
Lakey going ahead and using Mummert's rear bumper to slow him down there.
Give him a little chin music.
I think Mummert's trying to work on Benjamin Lacey here. Lacey's scrambling to see if he can get up front. I'd actually say Lacey would be the one I'd be really surprised to see not in the Champ 4. I mean, we thought this guy was going to be the man, you know, with Nick Nickerson not here full time, Cody Welch not here full time. I mean, that kind of left the door wide open out there for Benjamin Lacey, and he is caught a little bit of the, oh boy, did Lakey just get dumped? Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, Benjamin Lacey lost 4 places after Talladega. So that was very painful for his options at making that Final 4.
I'll see that pass again. It'll cause Lakey to shuffle out of there real quick. I think it's a little bit later than this.
Interesting when you... Oh, heavens.
I mean, just look at this cycle here. I mean, so Haggy off the wall, Lakey in the back of Tahan.
Yep.
Big check up here.
I thought he was going to go right back into him again, and that would be the second time we've seen him
No,
in
and
the
I think
last
then
10 minutes.
Osborne gets into him not too much later after this.
Oh.
So it's just it's starting to become kind of a nightmare for him. Here's the pass. Yeah, you can see he's definitely thinking about it. When they telegraph it that far,
Oh.
that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, that. Was that Osborne?
Yes, that was Osborne getting in contact with David Lake. Osborne is now up to 10th. Lakey's now dropped back down to 14th. We're currently seeing the battle up front here for second. This is Kevin Foster and Mason Flagar. Zach Michaelis waiting in the wings. Might try to go for a 2-for-1 here. Sikorsky leading this by comfortable 1 1/4 seconds out front. Foster to the inside. Michaelis going to follow. Say if Michaelis can get a run, he's going to give Kevin Foster a shove here into the turn.
I was going to say it's about the only way they're going to get past Mason.
Well, the more these two battle, the more Sikorsky's able to pull away. He's gained 2 more tenths. By them being side by side, Flagar floats to the outside, not going to be able to get Foster back. I guess Flagar lifting a little bit. He tries to drive through the number 8. Kevin Foster now to second. Flagar third. Michaelis is sitting in third
Second,
for a moment.
Third. There we go.
As Connor Gibson was taking a peek not but a lap earlier. 21 laps left to go here. At Twizzlers 160. Sponsored out there by Jay Tway, and Michaelis is doing everything he can not to go to the back of the field again.
Oh!
That is Benjamin Lacey, I think.
Yep, sure was. Did you see Michaelis drive through him? Unscathed. Well, caution number 13 with 20 laps to go. Oh, that front end is annihilated. Right front tire might even have a bit of a tilt. Looks like everybody is in their right mind and they are coming down pit road to get their last fuel and tires, getting ready for the shootout here at the end of the Richmond race. Started to doubt myself I was in the right track.
Yep, I see Matthew Crockett out there making a, hopefully not asking for something not to redo itself. We have yet to mention that here on the broadcast, and that's exactly why, because I thought I had duped him last time.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Jay, you underestimated it a little bit.
That was not amazing.
We'll have to come up with something. You use Twizzlers. You know, maybe it's too twisty or something. It gave the guys all kinds of a sugar rush. Maybe we need to come up with something something more sticky, perhaps.
What happens? So here's Michaelis. Contact here with the 72.
Yes.
And the 70,
Goes around him and
is that
plows into
Tahan
72.
sliding to the inside here? The 17 back again. Adam Tahan.
Okay.
Off the 72. 72 sends then back into Benjamin Lacey.
Yes.
And now Lacey's absolutely destroyed here.
Yes.
Might have been able to survive. Hits the wall. Ricochets back up. Takes out another playoff driver, Marshall Crocker Jr.
But that's where Michaelis went right through him. My goodness. Yeah, Benjamin Lacey's minute and a half still down.
Oh, Benjamin Lacey's
Trying.
done for the night. He will not be returning.
Oh.
A broken toe link is a minimum of 8 minutes of repair, and he's used his fast repair. And then he came down and repaired the rear bumper and the spoiler, and now he has a broken toe link. I mean, this has been pretty impressive here. As we get back under green, John Osborne had an opportunity to get his first win here. And before I can get the tower up, we will be back under caution.
Yes. And John Osborne is sitting in 16th.
Yep, and John Osborne did not take 4 tires the last time he came down in pit on lap 141. 9.78 seconds.
Yep, sounds about right. But you know who else did that? On lap 141? Zach Michaelis, who is currently sitting in 2nd.
Zach Michaelis has the speed here tonight to win this race. So him getting booted back again is pretty impressive out there. Yeah, I think that was something I was able to notice here, as we were checking our radio feed.
So I think he went ahead and took the other 2.
I was just looking at one of the Guzik's. I believe Brett is still able to radio up, although he is taking it back to the garage.
I noticed that. Now, was that Benjamin Lacey's pit box disappearing?
No, he's still in the pits.
Okay.
I said I think he's just there for moral support for the GFR team. Probably trying to talk to John Osborne, but that is 2 drivers from the GFR team who've had some trouble right off the bat on the restart. Benjamin Lacey getting around out there, and then heading into turn 1 here for John Osborne.
So our top 5 currently are Jackson Duke, Zach Michaelis, Kevin Foster, Jackson Mummert, and Ethan Sikorsky. And we are looking at everybody up here. Really did start up here. Jackson Duke is up 20 places. Ethan Sikorsky up 2. So not bad.
Yeah, I would say Jackson Duke. I'm not trying to pick on this guy, but I don't think he's got anything. He pit back on lap 117, and everybody behind him's about 30 to 25 laps on the pressure side. And you're going to see exactly what happens on turn number 1 here.
Yes.
So Kevin Foster going to try to send it on in. And here it comes. Here's turn exit. Boy, that's a close squeeze. Jackson Duke from 1st to 5th and rolling on back.
Ooh.
We'll see.
Sikorsky gave him a little bump.
Yeah, Kevin Foster trying to hold on here. And hey, all right.
A lap.
And not just that, I had guys shuffling through the field at extreme rate of speed. It seemed they made it through. Kevin Foster and Zach Michaelis going to try to go for it here, as Ethan Sikorsky might be watching his win slip away here. Still a 3rd place finish would do well for him. And I believe, taking a look, Connor Gibson sits behind him, so Gibson will still remain up in the top, as Ramos may actually be in trouble. Ramos now up to 6th.
Yeah, there's some between Ramos and Mummert. There's a little bit of action going on.
I've got to say, just some of your normal names up here are having to drive under now their 14th caution here of the night.
Yes.
I would say in hindsight that the choice for the schedule is maybe exactly what the admins wanted here, to shuffle the field. This is not a guarantee because the round of 8 consisting of Talladega, and now we're here at Richmond. I mean, and next week we head to Auto Club. This is something here. All right, drivers coming down pit road. This may be their final chance to put on a set of tires. I would say putting on tires now, not going to have enough time to warm up.
Ah, true. And you just filled up on 146, 141. You don't need more fuel either. So my question, if you did your 4 tires and fuel, would you bother coming down? Because, I mean, we should be seeing some people making some serious headway who choose not to come down.
What is going on here? So there was contact with Wilson and Flagar? I mean, I'm trying to understand what I'm seeing here. All right, here's the replay of what causes our caution. Bob Berry on the wall. Here comes Lakey.
Yep. And Flagar's lost it.
But notice the 72. Watch this.
Again!
That's what brings out the caution.
What? Okay, what might have caused that unusual driving circumstance? I mean, the last thing you want is a caused caution. You end up in the back again, or still.
Still, it's hard to say.
Okay.
After being 56 laps under caution, I don't know.
No kidding.
All right, Zach Michaelis returning back to the lead here. I believe finally for his second time
He's
tonight.
coming in.
Yeah, Sikorsky's got a chance here. Sikorsky might knock it off the wall there just a little bit. Let's see. Hopefully they don't dive it in too soon. Sikorsky going to bring us to the white flag. Right now, Michaelis door to door here. This is going to be some awesome racing as we are getting our last lap here. Michaelis got him by a fender. Michaelis taking another look. Sikorsky trying to pick up a little extra speed and fumbling the ball here. And Mark Allen Bivens is going to take the lead.
Oh my goodness!
Mark Allen Bivens to first, Kevin Foster second, Jackson Mummert third.
Wow, followed by Connor Gibson, Michael Ramos, Adam Tahan, John Osborne, David Lakey, and Jackson Duke, with Mason Flagar being the end of our top 10. Oh! I mean, running hard right to the finish. I'm all with that, but that would hurt. My goodness. pushed it too hard?
Well,
No.
this is coming to the white flag. Okay. Turn 1. Yep. Lost it.
Yep.
Eddie Haggy, John Osborne collected. Osborne at least got a 7th place finish.
Oh, boom. Oh. Blown engine. I think that was Michaelis with a blown engine. Who was the orange and black that just
That's Bob
absolutely
Berry.
ate it? Oh, man. Okay. He's out of his bit of honey car. Well, there is a happy Kelly Queel out there in chat. And Mark Allen Bivens, what are the odds? Back to front, back to front. Well, that will surely help his placement in the standings. Push him up a little bit further above the line. Ethan Sikorsky, not so much.
Alrighty. That's going to be the end of that one there. Alrighty. We got through our unofficial results. We're going to try to grab our top 3 guys, and we'll be right back here in just a moment, guys.
LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning with industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it. LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
All right, everybody, catching up with the 3rd place finisher, Jackson Mummert out there in the 52 machine. Boy, what a wild night it was here. So talk to me a little bit about how this race went for you out there. You kind of got bumped and banged around out there, and I don't know if there was really a car out there you hadn't touched.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. Second half of the race, I didn't think I was going to go anywhere, but I got a couple lucky cautions and got 4 fresh tires, and I was just trying to hang on to it because the car was not driving very good. And then that big wreck happened on the last lap. I'm still not sure what happened, but I'm not really complaining. And I may have walled Connor for 3rd, but I think it was worth it.
Definitely secured your third place finish here. And talked in earlier cautions, involved on the lap 49, involved on lap 60, and just having to come from the back. And I think you even got EOL'd one time. How do you keep your head straight and just kind of keep charging to the front?
I was kind of just keeping myself humbled, just like maybe I'll get some good luck or something will happen. And I tried to think positive, and it was a little hard halfway through that race. I thought it was probably done, but instead I kept my head down and we got up to the front and got ourselves a P3.
Awesome job, buddy. All right, Auto Clubs next week. Confidence level after tonight on your finishing spot there.
Yes, sir.
Like good, bad, high, low? What you think about Auto Club, man?
Yeah, I'm not great at Auto Club. I'm not gonna lie, I've not ran it much in this car, so it's gonna be interesting for sure. I'm sure it'll take me a little bit to get used to it during the race, but who knows? Maybe I'll get up there in the end. So we'll just have to see.
All right, buddy. Go and give me a shout out while I got you in here. Sponsors on the car,
sorry.
People here watching you, the league. Nobody, nothing?
Sorry.
Nothing, buddy?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Oh, I just give me some shout outs, bud. I'm sure you got sponsors on the car, people out here watching you.
Give a shout out to WNS Landscaping Services for sponsoring the car. Gave me a good one today, and we'll go get them next week at Auto Club.
All right, Jackson. Good luck to you, buddy.
Sir, thank you.
All right, Jackson Mummert sits in that number 3 position, moving us on to Kevin Foster, who almost looked like he tried to Ross Chastain it around in the final couple of turns there. Kevin Foster, you just barely squeaked through, and we're actually watching the slow-mo here of you making contact with Michaelis and continuing to drive through as you barely squeaked past Sikorsky. Talk to me about the final of this run here.
Well, the restart was good. I got alongside of Sikorsky there, and he sent it off into one. I didn't think it was going to stick side by side, and he got up next to Zach, and then we come across the line, and both those guys. Like, I thought I was braking late, but apparently I was 4 or 5 car lengths off from what they were braking, and unfortunately, Sikorsky just got a little loose off of 2, and I was hoping when I saw it, I was like, turn left, but then I was like, no, the momentum's going to carry him down, so I stuck it against the wall. The 12 came up. I never lifted, and unfortunately, fortunately, someone drove through, and I got to settle for a bridesmaid tonight.
All right, well, we're hoping for the best out there. When it comes to Auto Club, man, definitely a rough race out there for the GFR team. What in the world is going on out there on that track? Was it just slick out there, or is it just guys battling for the same position?
Well, these cars, there's a little bit of tire fall off, but the cars are so equally matched, and most people have talent most nights, and it's just a lot of good guys, and it's really hard to pass at this track. You really got to set it up and take several laps to make a pass, and then once you get spread out, it's just everyone's running the same speed, and there's really no advantage to running high, running low. It's just I was stuck back there in 20th place, running my guts out and I couldn't even pass the 19th place car. It's just one of those things. Track position is king at this track with this car. So, but overall, the track's not bad, and it's fun, and hopefully next build they add a little more side force, a little grip or something to these cars to just make them a little more competitive. As far as being able to race side by side, getting into the corner. But Sikorsky figured it out. Whatever he was doing on the high side there was amazing.
Awesome. All right, Kevin, go and give me your shout outs, bud.
First off, shout out to all the GFR family out there. We were short Nick tonight, but that's okay. We did good. Ricky, we missed you. And, you know, I was glad to see Paul up there tonight. Ben was up there. You know, Zach was there. Bob, John, you know, thank you guys for making me a better race car driver. Big shout out to all the fans out there watching, every one of you that tune in. You know, us to put on a show like this with a finish like that. That's why we do it. Huge props to my wife for letting me do this. Babe, I love you. I miss you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to run here on Wednesday nights. And last but not least, you know, the Big Red Propane guys, thank you. But last but not least, you know, Bill for starting this league. And hopefully we've carried on the banner good enough for him this year. And hopefully next year we'll be back for another season. But need one more spot.
All right, Kevin. Good luck to you, buddy, at Auto Club, and we'll see how you hold up there, buddy.
High, wide, and handsome. I'll see you then.
Yep. All right, Stella, you were catching up with Mark Allen Bivens, our race winner here of tonight, and how lucky you got all the way to squeak it to the end.
Yeah, I think it was awesome. I mean, he kind of lucked out in his placement. I mean, who knew that things were going to go quite so sideways, huh, Mark?
That was the craziest race of my life. I don't even know what happened. I'm still stuck on lap 60 whenever I lagged out. Like mentally. I don't even know how to process what all just happened.
I was going to say there's no napping in racing.
No. I'm gonna drop the cockiness act for 1 week just to say I'm blessed about what just happened. I don't want to call my shot too early, but we're 14 points above the cut, so as long as we can hold on to it in the stage next week, should be it. But once again, don't want to call my shot too early. But
Well,
man,
you are
that was
sitting
rough.
sitting in second now after this race. You've come up 2 points, and you are one behind the leader of Connor Gibson and one in front of Michael Ramos.
Pretty good spot to be sitting. Those are two guys that have been pretty competitive this season, especially Ramos seemed to, which I really didn't pay attention to anybody else earlier in the regular season, but seemed like this playoffs he's turned it up. So it's been fun race with these guys. It's been a tough competitive field, and I haven't had the best of races. Felt like could have had a better finish last week at Talladega. Ended up like P9, I think. So it's good to come away with one after getting what felt like gypped out of maybe a top 5 run last week.
Ah, okay. Yep, that's exactly what it shows here. P9. So, all right. Well, next week is, Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, Auto Club? All right. What do you anticipate for doing an Auto Club?
Well, I love some Fontucky, California. So we're gonna go down there and we're gonna see what we can do. We're gonna be getting a resort at our buddy's Adam's house for the week. So yeah, so hopefully we can turn plenty of practice laps there and lock ourselves into the next round and go chase the championship at Charlotte.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. So, sounds good. So how about some shout outs from you?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Lake Storage, MD Outfitters, Bike Racing, everybody that's on my team. Like to thank the Foxtrot guys for letting me post up in there. VC for those last 2 laps. It was fun working with them. Thanks to all the drivers for keeping me clean, running me clean. Eats Zikorsky, love you, brother. Feel terrible that happened for you, but you'll end up getting one of these days, and hopefully you can advance that next round, and hopefully me and you can go battle for a championship.
Sounds good. Well, currently, I will let Patrick take over the end of this, and I will do a quick rundown on points when you're done.
All right, Mark. Congratulations, buddy. Great job here tonight, and we'll see you at Auto Club.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yep. All right, Stella, go ahead as we are here ready to go, and we're getting ready to sign off here. We're from the Indy of the Twizzlers 160, presented by Tway. Go ahead and give me the points rundown.
Sounds good. We are looking at first place, Connor Gibson, followed by Mark Allen Bivens, Michael Ramos, Ethan Sikorsky. Those are our ones above the 4th-place cut line. The next would be Marshall Crocker Jr., Benjamin Lacey, Eddie Haggy, and John Osborne. Those are our top 8, with 5 through 8 being in jeopardy.
John Osborne needing a solid finish here tonight, although coming away with 7th. He needed a podium position to at least be within sniffing distance of that making the finale as a playoff driver. So it's going to be pretty tough here. We'll hold our breath to see how well he can do come next week. Guys, make sure you tune in for that Auto Club race. We'll be ready to go next Wednesday, so keep tuned up. But thank you everybody for joining us here at SimTrax Broadcasting, bringing you the Bandit Racing League. Be well, be safe, be kind. See all you guys next time.